Um, how do I intro videos? Oh my goodness. Hello everyone, welcome to a new cosplay walkthrough. Today I'm making my first cosplay of 2024, which is not one that I expected would be my first one of 2024. I actually don't know what I expected because I have not been good at taking in media because my OCD has made it really difficult to watch new things and even old things, and it's just been like a whole thing that I've had to work on, which thus makes me have less cos plans because I'm into fewer things. But I finally brought myself to watch Trigun Stampede because I have like at least 3 friends who have been like, oh, you should watch it because it's good. And I was like, okay. So I did. And you know what? We love a good 12 episode watch. I love getting to watch a full series in 2 days and just be done with it. It is great. Honestly, I was like intrigued but not like super into it for most of it, and then you get to like the last 3 episodes and it just punches you in the gut and I'm like, this is what I'm here for. Thank you for making me sad. I really like Meryl a lot. Whenever you get into a show, before you get into it, you kind of have like maybe a character that you're like, this is probably gonna be my favorite. And that's what happened with me. I was like, she will probably be my favorite. And then she was. And so that's what we're gonna do. It also just seemed like a really easy little cosplay to make. And also it looks really comfy because she wears practical shoes. Thank you character designers for giving her practical shoes. Anyway, I'm gonna walk you guys through how I'm making this cosplay. It's gonna be a super quick one. There's not much really to make, and the stuff that you do have to make is really easy to do. So, you know, it's gonna be a fun little video to like kick off the new year. I mean, this won't be my first video of the new year, but you know what I mean. It'll be a nice little cosplay walkthrough to kick off the new year. Anyway, let's get into it. So the first thing I did is I worked on the shirt, but for the shirt, I actually made a leotard so that it would tuck into the shorts and not pop up. I used this quick sew pattern for the bodysuit. So for the front, what I did is I cut out a second piece of the front panel and then extended it outwards, as you can see. Then I just folded the edges under and sewed them down, and then sewed that to the front panel. Then for the little frog closures, you can't find frog closures that big. I've tried, it doesn't work, so I had to make them myself. So I sewed a bunch of tubes together and then used the safety pin trick to turn them all inside out. Then they were still too thick, so I just folded them over and sewed them down. And then I sewed a bunch of little squares to make the diamonds, turned those all inside out, and then pinned and sewed that all to the front of the bodysuit. Make sure that you do this, obviously, before you assemble the rest of the bodysuit. That's gonna make your life so much easier. And then I went ahead and sewed the front and back of the bodysuit together. Then I worked on the collar. So the collar, I kind of just winged it, I think. I did use some interfacing to make it stiffer, and I just kind of made like, I don't know, 2 pieces of a collar, and sewed that to the neck of the bodysuit. I'm doing a really good job of explaining this. Oh my goodness. Okay, then I added a zipper and some clasps in the crotch, which makes my life so much easier. Then I worked on the jacket. So the jacket was by far the most time-consuming part of the whole cosplay. I used a men's shirt pattern, so like a button-up shirt, and just cut that out of the biggest size that they had because hers is very oversized. Before I assembled everything, I painted on the logos onto the sleeves. It's really good to do this before you set the sleeves. It's gonna make your life so much easier. So I just used a black fabric paint. I had very little left, so the logos didn't come out that great because it was kind of dry, like the paint itself was on the dry side, so it was kind of like clumpy and stuff, but I did my best. And then this particular brand of fabric paint, you have to set with the iron, so you iron it for 5 minutes, which is a very long time to be ironing something, but you know, we do it. Then I sewed everything together, had some double blessed seams, yes! And then I went ahead and finished all of my edges and then pressed all my seams, very important. Then I had to figure out how to do the collar. I have done this collar before because I used this pattern for a Father's Day gift for my dad, but I don't remember how the collar pattern works. So I did a bunch of stuff. I followed the instructions. I got confused. Collars still really confound me. Like, don't ask me how I did it. Just just no. And then I went ahead and painted the logos onto the collar, ironed that in. Then we worked on the pockets. Okay, so we're gonna get, okay. I have to tell you guys, I had a whole moment of just ranting about her pockets on my Instagram story, because let me tell you, looking at this reference, that is like a 3-inch pocket. That is not a big pocket. Like, if you look at it, the top of it is like 3 inches. I measured it. What is she gonna put in there? What can she put in there? Like a pencil? I guess she needs a pencil to write stuff down, but like, come on. She needs real pockets. Give her real pockets. All the guys, I am sure, have real pockets. Give her real, actual, practical pockets, please. So anyway, I made the pockets and I made them big enough to hold my phone. I gave her the pockets that she deserves. I did do some welted pockets, but I did not film it because it was such a confusing process. I used this tutorial. So if you're wanting to make the same pockets, this is the tutorial that I recommend using. It was a very good tutorial, but I still had trouble figuring out. So it took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out how to do the pockets. And then I met a friend at the convention who's doing the same cosplay and was like, oh yeah, I did welted pockets. I'm like, me too, they were so difficult. And they were like, oh no, it was really easy for me. And I was like, oh, well, okay, I'm just stupid, I guess. Anyway, so pockets, here's the tutorial. Go nuts. Then what I did is I added a band to the bottom of the jacket. This was a mistake though. It didn't give me the right shape. So what you actually want to do is you want to gather the bottom of the jacket and then put the band on the bottom, because that's going to give you the correct shape. And what I also did was I sandwiched the edge of the jacket in between the band, kind of like bias tape, basically, like really big bias tape is kind of what I was doing. And then I sewed that down and it was much better. Added the buttons and that is it. Okay, so I'm gonna be real with you guys. I hate doing final reveals. I hate having to model the costume and like awkwardly pose in front of the camera for a video. I much prefer showing you guys photos. So I'm just gonna tell you guys like the life of this cosplay, because oh my goodness. Okay, so when I first did this cosplay, I just did it because I liked Meryl. Like, I wasn't really like that enthralled with Trigun. But as time has gone on, it has grown on me so much, to the point where it's like my main hyperfixation right now, and she is my main comfort character. So I have worn this cosplay about 5 or 6 times already, which like that's as much as I've worn like Eddie or Tracer, which are like my most worn cosplays ever. So she's a real one. We love her. So I've worn this to like sakura-con, I've worn this to sakura-con, I've worn this to kawaii-con, the one in Vancouver, not the other one that's I think in LA or whatever. And I've had such a great time. She's really, really comfy, and I really like cosplaying her, and getting to meet like other Trigun cosplayers has been so much fun. Like I mentioned in my sakura-con video, they're all really nice. So like I went to the meetup at sakura-con, I met a bunch of them at sakura-con, and it was amazing. So it's been a really great experience so far, and I really enjoy cosplaying her. I'm gonna do a bunch more versions of her as time goes on, because that's where my heart is at right now. So it's been a really great experience. This is my like favorite cosplay of the year so far. The only thing is that it does terribly on social media. Like, people do not like this cosplay, which is really sad because it's my favorite right now. But the moral of the story is, cosplay what you love. Don't care if people like it or not, because as long as it makes you happy, that's what matters, and that's all you need. So anyway, thank you for watching. That's my little video. I'll see you guys all in the next one, but until then, Panda Faces, please be sure to take care. Bye!